Hey everybody, welcome back to True North VR. Today we are going to do a paint along. I'm going to paint here in Vermillion. If you haven't used Vermillion, I highly encourage you to check it out. And I just wanted you to kind of just follow along with me, almost like a Bob Ross, you know, the kind of like a Bob Ross of VR's kind of what we're going for here. This painting that I'm going to be doing is actually based off of one of Bob Ross's paintings. I've done this one before in VR and in real life many times, but I wanted to just kind of get back into it here and start this kind of thread of videos with a painting that I've done before. Now, a fun thing that I wanted to show you in Vermillion here, if you go to the top right in the browser and go down to paint along, you can see here there's a paint along with Brian Sloan. If you didn't know, that's me. And here you can see, hopefully that's on mute, perfect, otherwise you're going to be blasted with that. Here you can see this painting that we're going to be doing today, but then down here you can see this playlist, and these are all different painting tutorials that I've done in Vermillion that you can also follow along and watch here in Vermillion as well, which is pretty cool. So I hope you check those out and enjoy those. This one I'm just going to leave it here just so I have this as a reference, and we're going to go through and paint this one here today. Now, Vermillion's changing and getting better all the time. The developer is really great. He's the one who put this playlist into the game for me. Super awesome. And so I'm just going to go through and paint here. One of the first tricks I learned how to do was when you're doing the background, shrink that canvas down, and it allows you to cover the territory that you need to much faster. So if you didn't know, I'm a traditional artist as well, not just a VR enthusiast. I've been painting for about 11 years now. I think it was 2014 when I started, and it's been a big part of my life. As you know, or maybe you don't know, let's change this here a little bit. Turn that up. I am an art teacher. I've been teaching art at the local junior high school now for 5 years. And little did I know at the time when I was starting painting that it was going to become such a big part of my life. But I'm really happy that it is, and it's been awesome for me. You know, sometimes days can be a little bit stressful, but I'm always able to just come to the palette, come to the canvas, the easel, and be able to enjoy a lot of painting here. There we go, we're going for a nice deep purple here. I'm going to put some of that down here, just so I have that here. Now I know when it records, sometimes it doesn't do a very good job of getting the orientation quite right, so I'm going to try to look down a bit more, because I've noticed that when I do these recordings that the view always seems to be a little bit higher than what I want it to be. So hopefully you're getting a decent view of it here. So just a little bit of history here. My story, my history here. Vermillion's actually the reason I got into VR in the first place. Back in 2022, in one of the art groups that I'm a part of, I saw somebody post picture of a painting they did on Vermillion, and I was fascinated by it. My brother had a MetaQuest headset And so I had tried his Meta Quest headset. Love the technology. I've always been a gamer. I guess not super intense compared to some people, but I've always enjoyed video games, I should say. And VR did intrigue me a lot, but I couldn't justify buying a headset at the time when I first tried it out. But then when I saw Vermillion, I was like, hey, maybe I could get in on this and start making tutorial videos that go with this game, that go with Vermillion. And so I was able to convince my wife to kind of go for this. And I tried it out. Just hold on a minute. Let's try a little bit of purple or red, yellow in here. Okay, that's making it green. We don't want that. Let's reset this. Anyway, so I was able to get Vermillion, get a VR headset, tried it out, and obviously really enjoyed it. And so then afterwards, I ended up getting some VR accessories through some contests, and I thought, hey, why don't I make some reviews of these VR headsets, or VR accessories, sorry. And once I started doing that, then people started contacting me, asking me to do reviews of their accessories. And that was all on my Brian Sloan Artist channel. And so then shortly after, things were getting quite busy on that channel. I did VR stuff on that channel for really almost 3 years. But then I decided it was finally time to split those channels. And that's why a month and a half ago, that many of you know, I started True North VR, and I have decided to just post VR stuff on this channel and then my art content on my Brian Sloan Artist channel. Now, unfortunately, I've been posting a lot more VR stuff than art stuff right now. The VR content has been very busy. We've got a lot of different accessories that people have been wanting me to review. A lot of different content I want to review. But being a dad, being a full-time teacher, doesn't leave me a lot of time each day to really make content. And so I try to squeeze in as much as I can. Many of you have been great with suggesting content, supporting the channel, and I really appreciate it. And I hope to be able to continue to post as much as possible here. Okay, you might be wondering what I'm doing. I'm just laying a background here. Hopefully that angle isn't too off for you. Let's put some of this down here, actually. Let's turn that down a bit. And that down a bit. I'm going to change this a little bit from what you see there, just to have something be a little bit different. Just change it up a little bit here, because why not? We have the creative ability, right? Let's do a little bit of this stuff down in here. Okay. A little bit up in here. So yeah, I've been painting for quite a while now. I've Sold paintings to all across the US, all across Canada, a little bit into Europe in a few countries, and into Australia, a couple places as well. And so I'm pretty proud of where that's gone, being completely self-taught. I've never taken official lessons or anything. Learned everything via YouTube and just trial and error. And I think that's one of my favorite parts about being an art teacher as well, is when I was growing up, I was not into art. I wouldn't say that I didn't enjoy it, but I didn't think I was good at it. And because I didn't think I was good at it, I guess I didn't really try that hard. And I teach a lot of, well, I teach junior high kids, and we all know how junior high kids are. A lot of them, you know, they get discouraged quickly or whatever. They think they can't do things. And so I like to always just kind of tell them my story, that when I was their age, I didn't think I was good at art either. You know, I didn't think it was for me. But things changed. And things changed, in my opinion, for the better. And I'm not saying that everybody's going to become an artist, because they're definitely not going to. Everybody's not going to become an artist. But it's just my way of encouraging the kids to try new things, right? Because they don't know what they're going to be into. They might find out that if they try cross country, that they really enjoy running, or that they're really good at running, actually. And we've had a few kids this year, actually, that have really surprised us with their running abilities, and it's really great to see. It's fantastic, actually. And so with my art, I hope that people will try new things, even if they don't think they're going to be good at it. Now, some of the paintings that I've done now, when I first started out, there's no way I could have done anything to that level. But over time, you get better at whatever you're practicing, and you're able to do more things with it. And it's the same with anything in life. But that's because I enjoy it, and I want to put the time into it. If you don't enjoy something, I wouldn't recommend putting the time into it that you don't want to. I keep on looking too high up, I'm sorry. That angle is probably way off. So you can see here we've created some mountains. I'm going to take this blender brush, just smooth up the bottoms of these mountains, almost make them a little bit blurred out. I don't know if I like it on the backs of those mountains there. There we go, that's a little bit better. Okay, let's bring this up a little bit here. I've left the canvas small. With this game, you know, you can bring it up for fine detail. With this painting that I'm doing today, I'm not really worried about any fine detail. Sorry, I just gotta check something quick. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reset this palette here, and we're gonna move into some trees. Now, normally I make these trees green, as you can see up in there, but I'm gonna try doing some more fall colors here. So I'm gonna take some of this yellow ochre here. Let's take some of this, looks kind of like a raw umber or something we got going on here. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's bring this up a little bit. There we go. I'm not sure what it was doing there. Oh, the hand stabilizer was on. I've done that a few times now. Let's take a little bit more of that. I'm gonna take a little bit of black just to darken that up. Maybe a little bit of this. This looks like burnt umber here. Maybe they have different names, because these are mimicking oil paints. Hopefully this isn't too shaky for you. And I'm using this fan brush here. It's a bristle fan brush. or this is the bristle one. And I'm just going to lay in the groundwork here. This is going to be our, actually, what we can do, that'll be okay. Let's layer in this one here. So I'm going to actually change to smooth. That's going to be our rough shoreline here. There we go. And you know what, let's make this a little bit faster. Where's that brush I'm looking for? Let's take this one that we were working with earlier. And we'll go to the smooth. Oh, that's not what I wanted on there. That's okay. Let's move some of this down here. Just gonna block this in here. You know, I was reading today on social media of all places. I mean, that seems to be where a lot of us read things. And I read that, oh, that was a little bit high. That's too bad because that was a big stroke there. I read that some of the animals, including some gorillas, some rhinoceroses, pandas, and one of the species of tigers, I can't remember which one it was, but a lot of them have changed their classification on the endangered list to a level less intense, which is fantastic. That made me super happy to hear. I mean, not that I've really ever done anything personally, and I'm a little bit ashamed to say that. I guess I have helped in various fundraisers, but you just never really know what's going to happen. But that made me happy to hear that hopefully that we're making a difference with some of these animals and we're not going to lose them. Alright, so I'm just using this fan brush here, and I'm kind of creating these trees. I'm just doing the dark background of the trees first, just like we did with the mountains. And you'll notice that the trees along the edges here get taller because they're closer to us than the trees that are further away in the lake. At the end of the lake, I should say. And that all helps create perspective when we're drawing and painting, and creates that illusion of whatever we're trying to paint. I can't remember who said it. It was an artist that I was reading about, but they said, you know, all paintings are really just illusions. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right, they really are, which is kind of cool to think about as well. I'm just going to take a little bit of black here, just make a few darker spots throughout. Sorry if that angle keeps on going too high. I want this to be an enjoyable time for everybody to just kind of relax while we go through a little painting here. Alright, let's get to a nice brighter color here. And no, this will be okay. Maybe I'll try, because here we're not really working on pine trees. It's okay doing the background as we did, but I am interested to see. I don't know if this will do it, but let's try it out. Oh yeah, I think this will do what I want it to. This is going to help us create all the different leaf textures and hopefully layer the leaves so we have different colors here with this round brush. If this isn't too jiggly for you. Okay, let's go with a little bit of a brighter color now. Smeared a little bit much on us there. At school I get to do a little bit of art with the kids, but it's always nice to just come and paint my own thing. Not worry about what else is going on. Alright, what do we need to do here? Let's mix in a little bit of that. Do a little bit of this bright orange. Pretty close to what we were already doing there, so let's just add a bit more yellow in here. Now, let's take this bristle. And I'm going to take just some of this really bright yellow. Now these trees aren't exactly how I wanted them to turn out, but they'll do the job for today. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this. Well, we'll see how this brown actually looks. Yeah, we need that a bit lighter. Take some of this. And this is kind of going to be our shoreline. Notice that it gets thinner the further away it goes. And I'm kind of dabbing it in here, as you can see, to create more of that texture and to still see what was going on underneath as well. Okay, let's move into our lake. Now normally with that, like you can see, it was quite blue and turquoise almost. With this fall setting, sometimes things seem to be a bit more purple. And so I'm gonna take some of this blue here, take some of this red, create a bit of a purple here. And this, there we go, that blue is going to start us off. It's pretty dark, as you can see, which is fine. We're going to blend some stuff in with it here and it'll change. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of this regular blue, and we want this canvas mixing sensibility to be up, paint thickness to be regular again. And similar to what we did in the sky, it's going to be the darkest down here at the bottom there. Let's bring some of this blue down here. There we go, that's a nice color there that I'm looking for. Let's get a little bit of this. I'm going to just enlarge this a little bit here. Sorry, that microphone cord is off on me there. Here I'm just blending things out a little bit as we move towards that shoreline. Extend this up again. So this type of cooler blue is going to give off a bit more of a cooler sensation for our lake. Let's do just another little bit of this blue down in here. Oh yeah, that's doing it a bit better for me here. Okay, maybe some of this blue can be added in here. No, I don't really like that. There we go. Let's do that instead. Let's blend this out a little bit here. Just pulling down that shoreline a little bit, creating a little bit of a reflection in there as well. We're not going to do much of a reflection though today on this one. Okay. All right, now we're going to add in the front a little bit of brown here. Let's do one more layer. And to get some texture going here of the grass, I'm just going to take this brush. Just dab some in there. Let's turn down that mixing sensitivity a little bit. Turn down that thickness a little bit as well. That might help us get. There we go. Okay, let's grab a little bit lighter. I'm just trying to touch very lightly here. And let's go even one more lighter here. All right, on this little plateau here, we are going to have a nice tree. Tree's going to come up like that. It's also going to come out this way a little bit, right up there. We're going to have to make this trunk a bit wide there. Coming up to there. Splitting off again. Okay, we need a bit more. Ooh, let's undo that. Just work with this here. In the end, with how many leaves we're going to add in here, I'm not too worried about some of these stray branches. Okay, this one's shaping up nicely here. I'm going to take some of this darker. Actually, we'll do that in a second here. Gotta love an undo button when you're painting. It's almost like cheating. Okay, now I'm gonna take this one, take some of this darker, dab some darker into this side of the tree here. Now we can Turn that thickness back up a little bit as well. We're just gonna have to add a lot of leaves in that one spot there where I made that trunk too wide. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of this lighter. Just going up that trunk side there. Take some of this darker here. There we go, that's kind of what I wanted. Okay, good enough for that tree there. Just to make that a little, well, we'll work with the bottom in just a minute here. What I want to do now is take some of that. Let's take some of this darker. Oh, we're just going to work this in here. All around where our leaves are going to go. Now I wonder... Now let's stick with this. It might not look perfect, but it's still fun to do. Some happy trees, isn't that what our good friend Bob says? I guess I can turn that off now. Yeah, this is working out okay. I like this. Hopefully I've inspired you to try something new, whether it be try out Vermillion or just try something else new. You never know what might end up becoming your next new hobby. Okay, let's just try a different one just for fun here. Let's take this one, go with this nice orange. Oh, it's a little too orange. Let's erase those and let's go with more just this yellow ochre color. Some of you might be thinking, isn't that the same orange? It's not quite so, I don't know. What can I compare that orange to? That orange was just too orange. This isn't so bad. Hopefully this dabbing isn't making you too dizzy. I did try to test it out before, and it didn't seem too bad. So hopefully that still is true. It's not too bad for you. So my goal, like I said before, I hope to do a painting session like this more often now. I can't commit to anything because you know how life goes. But I would like to do one a week, where I just come on here, do a little painting, get to chat a little bit, talk about VR, talk about life, see how things are going. And if you have any, questions or things you would like me to talk about, send me a message beforehand, shoot me a comment. I'm always more than happy to discuss something relevant to you guys who are watching it. Now I know I do a lot of accessory reviews, and I have really enjoyed doing those. If you have accessories you'd like to see on my channel, please let me know. I'll do my best to get something. I've had a few subscribers reach out to me, and I appreciate it. I've actually gotten a couple of things that they've suggested. And so I hope that I can continue to provide quality content for all of us, and more importantly, honest content, not stuff that's just bought or paid reviews or anything like that, right? I want my content to be useful to you guys and to be honest reviews above all, right? So that it's not just frivolous information, that it's actually going to be, whoa, not that color, I want that color. Yeah, so it's actually going to be useful to you. In whatever you are doing. I'm currently wearing the Globular Cluster CMQ3 with their F3S facial interface. Going well. Controller grips I currently have on the Kiwi Design. I think they're called the G4 Pros. Got my Hans VR prescription lenses in. I think those are all the accessories I'm using right now. Okay, so once you're done, it's always a good thing to sign it, right? So let's actually there's one other thing I want to add. There's always one more thing, right? Take a little bit of this white. Let's use this smooth brush here. Tilt this brush. And I'm going to go back down to this layer. Turn that up just along the shorelines here. These are just kind of like some water ripples coming off the lake there. Alright, so when we go in to sign it, I usually just take something like this rigger brush here. And again, I do it in one of the corners, and I try to use a color that will blend in slightly because I don't want it to stand out too much. Because we got a pretty busy corner over here with the grass, I'm going to do it over in this corner. I'm just going to see, oh yeah, that color should be just fine. People will sign it different ways. I usually just sign my last name. And I add the year to it as well. There we go. Okay, let's back that out a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed sitting here with me, painting along with me. Hopefully it was relaxing for you. I do plan to do this more often. If you have suggestions of things you'd like to see me paint, I'm more than happy to take suggestions. And again, if you want to follow along with any of my tutorials, they're built right into the game there. Go over here, go on Paint Along with Brian Sloan, and you'll find all my videos there. So thank you for watching this one. We'll see you next time here on True North VR.